Hi everyone. So today we are here to discuss the first approach towards time and work. Now, time and work is one topic in which you'll have questions related to time and work in almost each and every entrance exam. So make sure that you prepare this topic well, and without much ado, let's start off with the chain rule. Now, what exactly is the chain rule and how do you identify questions that are related to chain rule? We'll see all about those things. Let's take an example first. So, as you can see on the screen, I have if 9 hens in 9 days can lay 9 eggs, then 90 hens in 90 days will lay how many eggs? 9 मुर्गियां 9 दिनों में 9 अंडे देती हैं, तो 90 मुर्गियां 90 दिनों में कितने अंडे देंगी? तो ऐसे जनरली आपके क्वेश्चंस जो हैं वो टाइम एंड वर्क से रिलेटेड रहते हैं. द वेरी सेम क्वेश्चन इट कुड हैव बीन फ्रेम्ड इन सम अदर मैनर. इट कुड हैव आल्सो बीन फ्रेम्ड एज 9 men in 9 days can make 9 chairs. So 90 men in 90 days will make how many chairs? So one and the same question. Now, this concept of chain rule, it is based on the concept of proportionality. So make sure that you are well versed with ratio and proportion before you apply this particular concept. Now, as you can see over here, I have number of men or hen is directly proportional to the work done. Now, what is work done in my question? In my question, the work done is laying eggs. अंडे देना, ठीक है ना? तो number of men is directly proportional to the work done. जितनी ज्यादा मुर्गियां होंगी उतने ज्यादा अंडे होंगे. जितने ज्यादा men होंगे उतना ज्यादा आपका जो है work done होगा. Right? Then in the second step, you have number of days is also directly proportional to the amount of work done. I have highlighted over here. जितने ज्यादा दिन मैं मुर्गियों को ऑब्जर्व करूंगा उतने ज्यादा अंडे मेरे को मिलेंगे. जितने कम दिन मैं उनको ऑब्जर्व करूंगा उतना कम दिन मेरे को अंडे मिलेंगे. राइट? सिमिलरली इस क्वेश्चन में है नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी मैं आपको बता दूं, नंबर ऑफ आवर्स पर डे इज ऑल्सो डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द अमाउंट ऑफ वर्क डन. सो आवर्स पर डे, जैसे यहां पर अगर होता 9 hens in 9 days वर्किंग फॉर 9 hours पर डे, तो ऐसा तो अभी इस क्वेश्चन में है नहीं, लेकिन इवेंचुअली वी विल सी दैट आवर्स पर डे इज आल्सो डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द अमाउंट ऑफ वर्क डन. जितने ज्यादा घंटे पर डे मैं काम कराऊंगा उतना ज्यादा मेरा वर्क डन होगा. इन दिस केस द वर्क डन इज लेइंग एग्स. नाउ if I combine all these above proportionalities, we have m into d into h is directly proportional to w, which is my work done, and m into d into h is equals to a constant of proportionality multiplied by the work done. I have marked this constant of proportionality as well, and from here I get m into d into h upon w is equals to a constant. तो ये जो है ये एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर्मूले को जो है ये आपको बताता है that m1 into d1 into h1 upon w1 is equals to m2 into d2 into h2 upon w2. यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं मैंने स्टार से जो है ये स्टार मार्क किया हुआ है. Now let us solve this question towards the right hand side. Move towards the right hand side and you can see m1 into d1 by w1 is equals to m2 into d2 upon w2. Here I have not included h1 and h2. Now why have I haven't included? Because it's not there in my question. My question does not have hours per day. तो मैंने वो वाला फैक्टर जो है वो h1 और h2 वहां से हटा दिए हैं. And अब मैं फॉर्मूले के ऊपर ही आपको लिख के बता दे रहा हूं. हाउ डू आई अप्लाई दिस? 9 hens in 9 days can lay 9 eggs. So towards the LHS, just see how I'm writing. I'm writing over the formula itself. 9 hens in 9 days will lay 9 eggs. So 90 hens in 90 days will lay how many eggs? So here, as you can see, my W2 is unknown. मुझे W2 की वैल्यू जो है वो पता करनी है. In the next step, let me just show you how do I rewrite the how do I apply the formula again. So I have 9 hens working for 9 days will lay 9 eggs, which is equals to 90 hens working for 90 days laying W2 eggs. So here you need to identify what is your work done. Here in my question the work done is laying eggs, तो मेरे को W2 की वैल्यू पता करनी है. And when you solve this equation, you have the 9s get cancelled, W2 को आप उधर ट्रांसफर कर दीजिए, so you have W2 is equals to 90 multiplied by 90 upon 9, which would be equals to 900. तो 9 मुर्गियां अगर 9 दिनों में 9 अंडे देती हैं तो 90 मुर्गियां 90 दिनों में 900 eggs जो हैं देंगी, right? So I hope the chain rule is very clear, and now let us move on to see certain problems जिनको पढ़ते ही साथ आप बता सकते हो कि नहीं इसमें chain rule ही लगेगा. So let us see the questions that are related to chain rule. Now just see the first one. If 5 spiders can catch 5 flies in 5 minutes, then how many flies can 100 spiders catch in 100 minutes? So first of all, identify what is the work done. So the work done over here is catching flies. अच्छा, इस क्वेश्चन में आप देख सकते हो, to solve this मैंने यहाँ पर D1 D2 नहीं किया है because 5 spiders in 5 days कुछ है नहीं. If 5 spiders in 5 minutes है तो मैंने H1 और H2 रहने दिया है. Hardly makes a difference, but concept को जो है वो आपको समझना जरूरी है. So yet again I'll write above the formula only so that it is very clear to you. If 5 spiders यानी M1 की वैल्यू हो गई 5 in 5 minutes, H1 की वैल्यू मैंने ले ली 5, कैन कैच 5 फ्लाइज, तो W1 की वैल्यू जो है वो हो गई 5. देन हाउ मेनी फ्लाइज कैन 100 स्पाइडर्स, तो M2 की वैल्यू हो गई 100, कैन कैच इन 100 मिनट्स, तो H2 की भी वैल्यू हो गई 100. एंड हियर ऑल्सो द W2 इज अननोन कि 100 स्पाइडर्स 100 मिनट में कितनी फ्लाइज कैच कर रहे हैं, तो द W2 इज अननोन. अब इसी को अगर हम सॉल्व करें, सो येट अगेन आई एम रीराइटिंग द फॉर्मूला. 5 स्पाइडर्स वर्किंग फॉर 5 मिनट्स कैन कैच 5 फ्लाइज. दिस शुड बी इक्वल्स टू 100 spiders working for 100 minutes will catch W2 flies. Yet again हम W2 को ट्रांसफर कर देते हैं उस तरफ, and when we solve this, what we get is 100 into 100 upon 5. Cancelling it out, we get the answer as 2000. So you will put a tick mark on D, 2000. Similarly, move on to the second question. Now the second question says if 3 persons weave 336 shawls in 14 days, how many shawls will 8 persons weave in 5 days? Now I hope it is very clear. The moment you read it, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि ये चेन रूल का सवाल है. यहाँ पर वर्क डन जो है, यहाँ पे वर्क डन is weaving shawls. So I'll instead of writing upon the formula, I'll straight away write down M1 into D1 upon W1 is equals to M2 into D2 upon W2. So 3 persons working for 14 days, they are weaving 336 shawls. Clear है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में हमने ऐसा कर दिया. एंड नाउ वी हैव 8 persons working for 5 days, they will weave how many shawls, that is your W2. तो यहाँ पर भी आप देख सकते हो, I have to find out the value of W2, that 3 persons working for 14 days, if they are weaving 336 shawls, then 8 persons weaving for 5 days will make how many shawls? And I'm sure now you'll be able to find the answer. Okay, so if I cancel it out, I get 112 over here, right? Then I can further cancel it out by 2, and then I have 8. So I have the value of W2 as 8 into 8 into 5, which is nothing but 64 times 5, and I get my answer as 320. So again, D is my answer. I put a tick mark on D. So I hope it is very clear. Now let us move on to some questions that are chain rule questions that can be solved with the help of chain rule, but the moment you look at them, आपको एकदम से नहीं समझ में आता है कि वो chain rule वाले हैं. Let us see the third question. A garrison of 500 men had provision for 27 days. After 3 days, a reinforcement of 300 men arrived. The remaining food will now last for how many days? Now, these questions are related to remaining food or remaining work. Now, understand, what is the work done in the question? The work done in the question is eating food. So you know that 500 men have provisions for 27 days. After 3 days, a reinforcement of 300 men arrived. So reinforcement आ रहा है यानी 300 men और आ रहे हैं. That means now after 3 days, you'll be having 500 plus 300. That is nothing but 800 men, right? And now these 800 men, will they be eating food or they will be eating remaining food? That is the question that you need to ask yourself. See, very clearly it is written after 3 days, a reinforcement is arriving. तो जब मैं after 3 days बोल रहा हूं तो 3 दिन तक तो 500 men ने खाना खाया, और उसके बाद जब वो एडिशनल 300 मैन हो जाएंगे और आपके पास टोटल 800 मैन हो जाएंगे, तो वो कौन सा खाना खाएंगे? दे विल हैव द रिमेनिंग फूड, और इन अदर वर्ड्स दे विल डू द रिमेनिंग वर्क. सो अगेन लेट मी जस्ट put down now, repeatedly writing m1 into d1 by w1. अब मैं इसको डायरेक्टली लिखने की कोशिश करता हूँ, डायरेक्टली लिखने की सॉल्व करता हूँ. Now just see 500 men. Now 500 men would have eaten, या 500 men could have eaten for how many days अगर वो 300 लोग नहीं आते? This is the question. ठीक है, लेट मी रिपीट माई सेल्फ. सो 3 दिन बाद ये रीइंफोर्समेंट आ रहा है. अगर 3 दिन बाद ये रीइंफोर्समेंट आ रहा है, तो अगर ये रीइंफोर्समेंट नहीं आता, दीज पीपल दे कुड हैव ईटन द फूड फॉर 27 minus 3, which is nothing but 24 days. This I am talking after 3 days. So we are looking at a scenario which is after 3 days. कि भाई 3 दिन बाद मुझे मालूम है कि there is a reinforcement of 300 men that has arrived. अगर मान लीजिए ये reinforcement नहीं आता, then the food would have lasted for how many days? The food would have lasted for 27 minus 3, which is nothing but 24 days. So I will write down, I will apply the chain rule as follows. Just see, 500 men would have eaten for 24 days. What they would have eaten? They would have eaten the remaining food. तो ये वाला जो आपका क्वेश्चन रहता है ये रिमेनिंग वर्क या रिमेनिंग फूड का रहता है. हियर द वर्क डन इज नथिंग बट ईटिंग फूड. तो यहाँ पर मैंने एक शॉर्ट फॉर्म लिख दिया है रिमेनिंग फूड का, विच इज RF. हार्डली मेक्स अ डिफरेंस. W1 W2 की जगह अगर मैंने इंडिकेटिव वे में लिख दिया है रिमेनिंग फूड. सो 500 men would have worked for 24 days, and what they would have eaten, they would have eaten the remaining food, the food that was remaining after the first 3 days. लेकिन अब ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है. 500 men नहीं है. सेकेंड RHS में आप देखोगे, now you have 800 men who will eat this remaining food for I don't know how many days. तो यहाँ पर हो जाएगा 800 men working for D2 days, and what these 800 men would eat, they would eat the same remaining food. तो जब भी आपको ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं तो आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि यहाँ पर वर्क की बात नहीं हो रही है, यहाँ रिमेनिंग वर्क की बात हो रही है, right? And now the remaining food in the left hand side is equals to the remaining food on the right hand side. Again, what is this remaining food? This remaining food is the food which is left after the first 3 days. Okay, so let me just solve it, and यहाँ से W1 और W2 की जगह जो remaining food था वो cancel हो गया, and I am only left with D2 is equals to 500 upon 800 times 24. The zeros get cancelled, and here you have 8 3s are 24. You get your answer as 15. तो D2 की आंसर जो है वो हो रहा है 15. That means now those 800 men could have provisions for 15 days. I take mark A as my answer. And lastly, let us see the questions that are again related to the chain rule, but they come as disguised questions and mixed questions on men and women. So you can see the fourth one. You have 3 men or 5 women can finish a piece of work in 12 days. How long will 6 men and 5 women take to finish the work? So from here, the very first thing that I have is 3 men or 5 women. या तो 3 men 12 days में work finish कर देते हैं, या तो 5 women 12 days में work finish कर देती हैं. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले मेरे को जो इक्विवेलेंस पता चलता है वो इसमें ये है that 3 men are equivalent to 5 women, because या तो 3 men 12 days में वर्क फिनिश कर दे रहे हैं, या तो 5 women 12 days में वर्क फिनिश कर दे रही हैं. तो यहां से मेरे पास एक इक्विवेलेंस आ रहा है that 3 men are equivalent to 5 women. Right? And how long will 6 men and 5 women take to finish the work? Now I have in question 6 men plus 5 women. Now what I'll do is, since I already know the equivalence between men and women, ये जो 6 men plus 5 women है, इसको या तो मैं completely men में convert कर दूं, या तो मैं completely women में convert कर दूं. तो what I'll do is, I already know that 3 men are equivalent to 5 women. So in place of this 5 women over here, I can put what? I can put 3 men, right? So from here I get 6 men plus, instead of 5 women, now I'll be writing 3 men. तो मैंने ये जो equation है इसको पूरे को 9 men में बदल दिया. And now instead of saying 6 men plus 5 women, I will directly say what? 9 men. And from here I have 3 men working for 12 days. They do a certain amount of work, that is W, and that same work now has to be done by 9 men working for D2 days. तो देख सकते हैं मैंने कैसे चेन रूल जो है वो लगा दिया. Once I completed the entire equation into men, 3 men working for 12 days will do W amount of work, which is equals to 9 men working for D2 days doing the same work, that is W. So W and W, they get cancelled over here, and from here I get the value of D2 is equals to 3 into 12 upon 9, which is nothing but 4. So I'll tick mark A over here. So guys, I hope the concept of chain rule is pretty clear to you. This is one of the easiest approaches towards the problems that are related to chain rule. And we'll also see the exercises based on that in the coming lectures. So have a great day ahead, and do practice the concept of chain rule and practice the questions related to it as well. Thank you.